Hi, Hugo. This is Anya, founder and CEO of Taelor. So we heard so many amazing, cool stories about you guys. And so today we have Laurie. She will be asking a lot of questions, different kind of potential brands for fashion magazine brands.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. And good to see you again, Anya. And great to meet you, Laurie and Kimberly. Or have, yeah, I don't think I've met you through emails or anything yet, right?
No, not
Okay.
yet. I look forward
Okay,
to.
I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm screwing it. Okay, cool.
Hi, nice to meet you. As Anya said, I'm Laurie, and I'll be pitching a story about Acapella to several different magazines. Just have a couple questions for you about the brand. My first question is, so Acapella, they're based in Mexico. Was it founded in Mexico?
Yeah, I'll tell you the story real quick. So me and my co-founder Ricardo, when we were very young at 17, we signed a deal with a record label, and we started our career as a musicians. And we like to describe our music style that we were like the Mexican version of the Killers. But now that we look at the pictures of us back then at 17, we were more like the Mexican version of the Jonas Brothers. And so we played our instruments and we created music and we toured in Mexico for about 4 or 5 years. We had 2 albums, and we were doing all types of PR, media, TV, radio, a bunch of stuff all over the place. And in one of those tours that we were in south of Mexico in Merida, we were invited to a party and we didn't have any clothes to wear other than the stuff that we would wear on stage, which were more like rocker jackets and stuff. And we were like, why isn't there and so we started looking around in Mexico, in Merida, and there was nothing. And so at that point, and just to give you more context, I grew up in Monterrey, Mexico, which is a city that's two hours from Texas. And my mom used to take us there, me and my brothers, to just buy a car and shop in the US and then come back to Mexico. And we would do that in a day or two or a weekend trip. And so for me, that was the normal thing to do. And then when I started growing up, I was like, why aren't there cool Mexican brands? And so we created Acapella out of that. The thesis has changed a little bit because this was a long time ago, about 10 years or so. And at the beginning, it was just like, let's create really cool clothing. A lot of it was graphic t-shirts, and let's do really cool stuff for Mexico. But then as all the new brands started entering the market, if 10 years from now, like H&M, Massimo Dutti, Zara, Bershka, Stradivarius, all the fast fashion brands started entering the market in Mexico. And we've then pivoted to a new style, and we call ourselves smartwear, and we're basically the opposite of a fast fashion brand. Fast fashion brands are very large. The quality of the products is very poor. The consistency across sizing of products is very widespread. So if you're a man and you want to buy some clothing for your everyday life and you go into these fast fashion brands, which, by the way, in Mexico, they account for a very large portion of what's available in a mall, because we don't have all the direct-to-consumer brands. Then that's like a very long and exhausting and overwhelming process for a guy. And then once you find something that you really like, it probably has something ripped here in the shoulder because it's fast fashion. And then if you take it back home and you use it, it'll probably shrink like this from the first. You'll have to buy stuff all across 3 sizes from a fast fashion brand. And if you are able to find a product that you absolutely love and you want to go back to the store and buy more, it won't be available because it's fast fashion. And so for us, we call ourselves smartwear, and we're quite the opposite. We have one SKU per each style. Our quality is the best in the world. We source our materials, our cottons from Peru, and we use Pima cotton. We spend a lot of time in the lab making sure, creating like new technology. So we have a new stain repellent t-shirt that you can pour water to it, and it slips fairly easy. We pre-shrink, we anti-peel our products. We make sure that you can use our products, and this is our marketing, that we can use our products more than 100 times. So very long lasting. And we also have smaller stores And so you'll come into the store and there'll be one version of a t-shirt, and then you'll find shorts, and then you'll find a long sleeve shirt, and then you'll find some polos, but it'll be just one SKU, very well organized. So if you're a man and you want to fill up your closet, and you want to simplify your process, it's heaven for you, because it's and if you like a product, then you're going to be able to use for a long time. And if you want to come back for more, we'll have it available there for you for the next time. So very user experience focused, very high quality garments, etc. So I'll pause for now because I just did a very long monologue. But yeah, that's kind of where we started, how the brand was formed, and where we're kind of what we're looking at now.
Do you have standalone locations that people can go in and shop?
Yeah, we have 15 stores all across Mexico, in Monterrey, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Mérida, Tijuana, Querétaro, and our stores are the largest. They have the largest share of our sales. Then it's e-commerce, and then it's third party selling, like big box retailers or partnerships like Taelor.
And so you source your materials from Peru. Was there anything specific about Peru in terms of sustainability or traceability, that you chose Peru specifically to source things from?
Yeah, so one very important thing is we source organic cotton. Our cotton is free of pesticides and free of yeah, it comes from the mountains of Peru, so it's very high quality. It really helps your skin. It's also hypoallergenic. The Pima cotton comes with a lot of quality, so we were just in love with that. And then more into sustainability. Our biggest effort and what we've done is we launched an initiative called the Second Life Project. So every store has an inbox, and you can go and deposit your old t-shirts, and then we'll give you credit for a new t-shirt. So we're basically trying to create just like a mindset for people that if you're done using a t-shirt, just go put it in an inbox, instead of having that piece end up it's in some island in the ocean, I don't know, or in a garbage. And so we grab all of those garments, and then we separate them by color, and then we cut them down to small pieces, and then we out of that we create new cotton from scratch. The coloring is natural because we can make combinations of colors, and then we create a new t-shirt out of that, 100% recyclable t-shirt. That's another collection called the Second Life Project. And then we add plastic bottles to make the fabric a little bit more resistant, and we create a cotton and polyester and plastic blend, and we create new products. To be honest, that isn't the core of our brand. The best-selling t-shirts are new cotton t-shirts brought from Peru, but we have this initiative just to help our customers create consciousness, and also to offer them a sustainable option if they're looking for something like that.
So, in terms of design aesthetic, what are some elements that separate Acapella from other sustainable brands?
Well, I mean, in Mexico, the only thing that separates us is that we're the only one. There's no other sustainable t-shirt brands. There are some other sustainable smaller brands that are doing different things, but it's still Mexico is still quite small. So I would say, like, in terms of design, we're very neutral. We like to create clothing that because our clothing is meant for you to use 100 times. we try to not be that fashion, and we try to make pieces that you can enjoy in a year from now or 2 years from now. So our designs and our colors are very monochromatic, and we are very cautious in, like, you won't find something that's very trendy or very fashion. We are not very fashion week either, so we're more like so we're not launching like very creative fashion designer collections. We're more like convenient. We go more for the convenience of our customers.
So it definitely seems like simplicity is key for, being able to
Exactly.
throw something on that's people know where it's coming from as well. They know it's not coming from, a sweatshop somewhere. So that's something that I feel like our readers really will value.
Yes.
Um,
Just a
You
comment: simplicity, convenience, durability, and like confidence. Maybe it's the word. Sorry, but English is not my first language. So we want to know. We want to give consumers that trust factor, that they know that they're wearing something comfortable, something very high quality, something very convenient, and something that comes from good sources.
you guys do a lot of some partnership with celebrity. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can talk about the partnerships. So Acapella was born as a graphic brand. At the beginning, we were doing a bunch of graphics. Now graphics still play a part of an important part of our brand, but it's also worth mentioning that we're a bootstrapped brand, so we're not we haven't like raised a ton of like money. So we've had to be very creative in how we market and how we expand our brand. And one of the key factors has been collaborations. So we've collaborated with some of the world's or Mexico's most influential brands and people. Our last collaboration was with Formula One driver Checo Perez. So we created a whole collection for him. He's a Formula One driver for Red Bull. Last year he was the second one in the championship, so number two driver in the world. And what we did for him is we created a whole collaboration, a whole collection, where we would use like very high quality basics, and we would add some Checo Perez graphics, some of his most famous phrases, and some really cool designs and images. And we sold that. A lot of that was sold in Formula One races, but also in our stores, and through other retailers. We also did a collaboration recently with Topo Chico, the sparkling water. They were born right here in Monterrey, so it was a really cool collaboration, because we were able to, obviously they've been around for 100 years, and they're a way larger company than us, but it was a cool collaboration to have two Mexican brands collaborate with each other, and we did some really cool designs for them. And like that, we've also partnered with other brands like soccer teams in Mexico. We've partnered with Shake Shack when they arrived to Mexico, and so we've been able to do really cool collaborations with big names and brands, not just from Mexico, but all over the world. And that's kind of our collaborations for us is the way we keep ourselves being very fun and creative. So I would say like Acapella has kind of like two personalities. One is like a very serious, ready to wear clothing that you're using in your everyday lifestyle. But we always have a corner or a rack in our stores where we're doing really cool stuff for people to wear, and that's part of like that's and the same customer buys both things. Like they'll come in and they'll grab something for their everyday life, but they'll also want to grab a piece of a new collaboration that we did for like the weekends or a festival or a concert or whatever. So that's kind of how we're structured.
It's definitely cool, definitely interesting. It's not often that I come across a brand that's based in Mexico, let alone inspired by Mexico. So I think that's really cool, and it's going to be a fun angle to take when I write the story.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason why like we haven't kind of left Mexico yet is because and we have with efforts like Taelor, and we've done some expos, and we've sold all over the world through third party retailers, but not ourselves, is because Mexico is still, I mean, we're 130 million people, as the as we have in Mexico more access to technology, more economic power, more education, like people also, and when we're very digitalized, so everybody in Mexico has inspirations from brands in the US. They can look at they're looking at TV shows from the US. We're looking at Instagrammers, we're looking at bloggers. Like the world became very globalized all of a sudden. And so I think it's really cool to have a Mexican brand in Mexico that's able to bring some of those tendencies that are happening in the US and all over the world and make it happen for the Mexican audience. And we've been very successful at that, like interpreting what's happening all over the world and kind of introducing it for our customers in Mexico. But this thesis has also worked really well with Taelor. I mean, we've been reading all the messages, and it's been really fun. That, I mean, the cool thing about Taelor is that we also participate in the customer feedback. So it's literally the only third-party retailer that shares these types of insights, which are very valuable. So we're looking at the comments from American customers who are buying our products or are renting our products and using them and getting a really cool feedback. And we feel very confident that what we're doing in Mexico can also work really well in the US, and it's super exciting for us to continue to pursue our growth and our expansion outside of Mexico.
Yes, we are excited to share that too. Laurie, just because we are rental subscription, as you know, so then our customer provide feedback every other week. Almost like you think of like why Shein want to be Shein, because they want to get customer input right away for supply chain issue. But we are solving the same problem, but doing it more extremely sustainable way through rental and through resale secondhand clothes. So we are able to provide a lot of feedback from brands, including Acapella, and they found it very helpful on getting first-hand feedback from the customer real time.
Mhm.
All right, thank you, Hugo. Appreciate it. It's Acapella.